you ever stop to wonder about the silent stories people carry beneath their carefully crafted appearances? Every day, we cross paths with individuals whose smiles are bright and words are kind, yet deep down we sense there's more, something hidden beneath the surface. How often do we take the time to look past the masks and ask ourselves, who are they really? In a world that often values perception over authenticity, it's easy for people to slip into roles designed to impress, to conform, or to conceal. But here's the truth. The essence of a person isn't revealed through their words or even their outward charm. It's revealed through the small, unnoticed moments that most of us overlook. You don't need to be a philosopher or a psychologist to discern true character. You just need to know where to look. Today, we'll explore two simple yet profound principles. Two lenses through which you can see beyond the facades people wear. These aren't abstract theories or complicated ideas. They're rooted in the raw, everyday interactions that tell us who a person really is. By learning to observe these subtle signals, you'll not only understand others better, but also make wiser choices about the people you surround yourself with. Imagine being able to decode the quiet language of someone's actions, their smallest gestures and reactions. These clues hold the key to authenticity and integrity. Once you grasp them, you'll begin to see people in an entirely new light. You might even discover truths about yourself along the way. So, as we embark on this journey together, I invite you to stay present and open-minded. What you're about to uncover could shift the way you connect with the world around you. Together, let's navigate the path to deeper understanding and meaningful growth. Now let's dive into the first principle. Number 1. How a person treats those who can't return the favor. If you want to glimpse the true essence of someone's character, look at how they treat those who have nothing to offer in return. This simple yet profound principle reveals more about a person than any words, accolades, or public gestures ever could. In the Stoic tradition, true virtue isn't displayed in moments of grandeur or when the world is watching. Instead, it shines most clearly in how we interact with those who exist outside the transactional nature of life. Those who cannot reciprocate our kindness or advance our ambitions. Imagine a crowded cafe on a busy morning. The barista is overwhelmed, trying to keep up with a long line of impatient customers. In the midst of the rush, a mistake is made. A wrong drink is handed to a hurried customer. The customer has two choices: to lash out, berate the barista, and demand immediate rectification, or to calmly point out the error with understanding and patience. The former reaction may feel justified. After all, everyone is busy, and mistakes can be frustrating. But the latter response, one of composure and empathy, speaks volumes about that person's inner strength and respect for others. Now, take this observation further. Think of how people treat the delivery driver, the janitor, or the elderly neighbor crossing the street. These interactions often pass unnoticed, but they are the truest tests of character. A person who pauses to say thank you to a receptionist, who smiles warmly at a waiter, or who holds the door open for someone without expecting acknowledgement, reveals a heart attuned to empathy and humanity. In contrast, someone who is dismissive, impatient, or even condescending toward those in vulnerable or service-oriented roles exposes an underlying insecurity, a need to assert dominance to mask their own shortcomings. The Stoics believed that our actions reflect our internal state. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The fruit of this life is good character and acts for the common good." How we engage with others, particularly those who cannot repay us, mirrors the cultivation of our virtues. Kindness, for instance, isn't an act reserved for the powerful or influential. It's a habit we develop, one choice at a time. Each small gesture, a word of encouragement, a moment of patience, a willingness to listen, becomes a reflection of our values. Psychologists echo this idea, emphasizing that the way we treat those who seem unimportant is often free of performative motives. When there's no social capital to be gained, actions flow more authentically from a person's true nature. For instance, consider how someone reacts when a waiter makes an error with their order. Do they respond with anger, demanding correction, or do they approach the situation with calmness and understanding? The former reaction may suggest a fragile ego or poor emotional regulation, while the latter demonstrates emotional maturity and a sense of groundedness. As we go about our daily lives, it's crucial to observe these subtle moments. They are often unremarkable on the surface but reveal profound insights into character. How does someone speak to a customer service representative when dealing with a problem? Do they address them respectfully, recognizing their effort, or do they belittle them to feel superior? Such behavior serves as a powerful litmus test, particularly in personal or professional relationships. After all, if someone shows disregard for individuals they perceive as less important, how might they treat you in times of conflict or disagreement? Let's return to the example of the cafe. Imagine two co-workers, both frequenting the same coffee shop. One, Alex, is polite to the staff, thanking them for their service even on hectic mornings. Alex takes a moment to acknowledge the effort behind the counter, even if things aren't perfect. The other, Jamie, often rolls their eyes, complains loudly about delays, and criticizes mistakes as if they are personal affronts. Over time, these patterns become unmistakable. Alex's kindness and respect reflect an inner confidence and understanding of shared humanity, while Jamie's behavior reveals insecurity and an inflated sense of entitlement. This principle isn't about perfection or grand gestures. It's not about being a saint or sacrificing your own needs to accommodate others. Instead, it's about the small, consistent choices we make, choices that define our character. Saying thank you, offering a genuine smile, or showing patience in moments of inconvenience costs nothing but carries immense value. These actions remind us and others of our shared humanity, creating ripples of kindness in an often transactional world. On the flip side, arrogance or condescension toward those who cannot give back often signals deeper insecurities. In psychology, this behavior is frequently linked to feelings of inadequacy or a need for external validation. People who belittle others may do so to assert control or dominance, compensating for their own perceived shortcomings. This tendency is a major red flag, whether in personal relationships or professional settings. Someone who seeks to elevate themselves by diminishing others may lack the emotional stability or ethical foundation necessary for mutual respect and trust. The Stoics would urge us not only to observe others, but to turn this principle inward. How do we treat those who cannot return our kindness? Do we extend respect and patience to everyone, regardless of their position or status? Or do we reserve our best behavior for those who can offer us something in return? The ability to hold a mirror up to our own actions is essential for personal growth. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. This reflection invites us to examine not only how we treat others, but also how we react in moments of frustration or inconvenience. If we find ourselves snapping at a cashier for taking too long or ignoring a delivery worker's greeting, we have an opportunity to pause and realign our actions with our values. Growth begins with awareness, and every day offers countless chances to choose kindness over impatience. Paying attention to these small moments, in both ourselves and others, builds a deeper understanding of true character. It helps us navigate relationships with clarity, recognizing the sincerity, or lack thereof, in those we interact with. More often than not, actions speak louder than any words. Someone who consistently treats others with kindness, especially when there is no advantage to be gained, embodies a character rooted in integrity and compassion. Ultimately, kindness is one of the strongest expressions of who we truly are. It's not about seeking recognition or approval, but about living in alignment with our values. When we treat everyone we encounter, whether a stranger, a friend, or someone in need, with respect and empathy, we contribute to a more meaningful and connected existence. True character isn't measured by grand displays, but by the quiet strength of everyday choices. By observing these small yet powerful actions, we can better understand those around us and perhaps ourselves. Number 2, the psychological value of keeping promises. The way we handle promises is a powerful reflection of who we truly are. A promise, no matter how small, isn't just a verbal commitment. It's a bridge of trust, a silent acknowledgement that another person matters. To the Stoics, honoring one's word wasn't about convenience, but about living in alignment with integrity. When we follow through on a promise, we affirm not only our respect for others, but also our own self-respect. In contrast, a broken promise does more than disappoint. It erodes trust, damages relationships and reveals inconsistencies in character. Consider this: when someone keeps their promises, even in the face of difficulty, they send a clear and powerful message: I value you, and my word holds weight. Conversely, when someone habitually fails to follow through, their words lose meaning. Such behavior doesn't just impact how others perceive them, it also chips away at their own sense of self-worth. Psychologists like Albert Bandura have emphasized that our actions shape our self-identity as much as they shape how others see us. Every promise kept strengthens the foundation of our character, while every broken commitment weakens it. Imagine a scenario: a friend promises to help you move into your new home on a weekend. You organize your plans around their assurance, only to receive a text at the last minute with a vague excuse about being too busy. You're left scrambling for help. This isn't just about inconvenience, it's about trust. The disappointment you feel is deeper than the immediate problem. It stems from realizing their words lack substance. Now compare this with another friend who not only shows up as promised, but brings extra supplies to make the move easier. Their action, no matter how small, reaffirms the bond of trust between you. The real test of integrity comes not when things are easy, but when fulfilling a promise becomes inconvenient. Life is unpredictable, and challenges often arise that make it difficult to keep our commitments. Yet, it is in these moments that character is forged. A person who honors their word despite obstacles demonstrates not just reliability, but moral strength. They show that their commitments are tied to their values, not to fleeting circumstances. Take, for example, a professional situation. Imagine a manager who promises their team they'll advocate for better resources to improve workflow. This manager encounters resistance from upper management, making the task far more challenging than anticipated. Instead of retreating, they persist, finding alternative ways to fulfill their promise. By doing so, they prove themselves to be a leader worth trusting. On the other hand, a manager who backs down at the first sign of resistance signals to their team that their words lack conviction. How someone handles a broken promise is equally revealing. Even the most disciplined individuals sometimes fail to meet commitments due to unforeseen circumstances. The key lies in how they respond to these failures. A person with emotional maturity will acknowledge their mistake, offer a sincere apology, and take steps to make amends. This humility and accountability preserve trust and show respect for the people they may have let down. In contrast, someone who brushes off their failure, blames external factors, or trivializes the impact of their broken word reveals a lack of responsibility and disregard for others. The Stoics taught us that we cannot control every external event, but we can always control how we respond. Acknowledging a mistake and making an effort to rectify it is an act of courage, one that demonstrates inner strength. Marcus Aurelius himself wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Living by this principle means not only keeping promises, but also owning our shortcomings when we fall short. Another critical aspect of keeping promises is knowing our limits. Many people fall into the trap of over-promising, offering commitments they cannot realistically fulfill. This might stem from a desire to please or a fear of disappointing others. However, repeatedly taking on more than we can handle and failing to deliver creates a pattern of unreliability. The Stoics would remind us that wisdom lies in understanding and respecting our boundaries. Saying no when we know we cannot commit is far more virtuous than saying yes and failing to follow through. Observing how others handle their promises provides invaluable insight into their character. Watch how they navigate the small, everyday commitments, showing up on time, meeting deadlines, or following through on casual plans. These seemingly minor actions often speak louder than grand declarations. A person who consistently honors small promises is likely to approach larger commitments with the same integrity. For example, think of a colleague who promises to complete their part of a group project by a specific deadline. If they deliver as promised, they reinforce a sense of trust and dependability within the team. If they fail to meet the deadline without warning or explanation, it not only disrupts the group's progress but also sows doubt about their reliability. In addition to observing others, we must turn this lens inward. How often do we keep the promises we make to ourselves? Whether it's committing to a healthier lifestyle, pursuing a personal goal, or dedicating time to self-improvement, these internal promises are just as vital as external ones. Each time we honor a commitment to ourselves, we strengthen our self-discipline and build confidence in our ability to follow through. Each time we break a personal promise, we risk diminishing our self-respect. For instance, consider someone who promises themselves they'll spend 30 minutes a day learning a new skill. If they follow through consistently, they not only build proficiency, but also reinforce a belief in their ability to stick to their goals. However, if they repeatedly skip these sessions without reflection or accountability, they may begin to feel disheartened or view themselves as undisciplined. This internal dialogue shapes our character just as much as our interactions with others. Ultimately, the practice of keeping promises, both to others and to ourselves, is about aligning our actions with our values. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent, honest, and intentional. The Stoics believed that our integrity is one of the most valuable possessions we have, and each fulfilled promise strengthens this foundation. In a world where words are often spoken carelessly, let your promises stand as a testament to your character. Whether it's a simple commitment to meet a friend for coffee or a life-changing vow to support a loved one, each promise kept reinforces the trust you share with others and deepens your connection to your values. Paying attention to how someone handles their commitments reveals profound truths about who they are. Do they honor their word even when it's difficult? Do they acknowledge their mistakes and strive to make amends? Do they approach their promises with sincerity and thoughtfulness? The answers to these questions provide a window into the very essence of their character, and perhaps a reflection of your own. Ultimately, keeping promises isn't about striving for perfection, but about embodying consistency and reliability. It's in the small, everyday gestures, those quiet, often unnoticed acts of integrity, that a person's true character comes to light. Observing how someone navigates their commitments, from the seemingly trivial to the deeply significant, reveals far more than words ever could. When we honor our word, we strengthen not only the bonds we share with others, but also the foundation of trust and self-respect within ourselves. As you reflect on what you've learned today, take a moment to consider how these insights might reshape your understanding of the people around you, and perhaps even yourself. Are there promises you can approach with greater care? Are there small actions you can take to align more closely with your values? Remember, true growth begins with awareness, and each step you take toward greater integrity is a step toward a life of deeper meaning and connection. If this video resonated with you, we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Share your own experiences, or let us know which insights spoke to you most. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the Mindful Sphere channel so you'll be the first to discover more content designed to inspire wisdom, encourage growth, and challenge your perspective. Thank you for joining us on this journey of reflection and discovery. In our next video, we'll explore another powerful tool to help you navigate relationships and unlock your fullest potential. Until then, remember, every small act of kindness, every promise kept, and every moment of awareness brings you closer to the person you aspire to be. See you next time. What are your views on this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I will personally read all of your comments. And if you seriously want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Stay strong. Until next time.